Thank you for joining me. I'm going to look at Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck today, published by US Game Systems. And Aleister Crowley, as you know, I believe he was one time a member of the Golden Dawn, but then he did his own sort of secret society, the Ordo Templi Orientis. The images painted by Lady Frieda Harris. The 78 card deck with an instruction manual. This is the box it comes in. It's a bit battered. I've used these cards many times. As you can see, I've had to sellotape the bottom of the box because it was falling apart. And as you can see, it's not the most sturdy boxes, quite flimsy. So with the deck you get a couple of extra cards. You've got one with a symbol on it. That's the back of the cards. You have a card giving you some information about the actual deck. And you got a completely blank card. Now some people do use a blank card in their readings just to sort of, if it comes up, they use it as like fate unknown or something yet to be discovered. A little bit like the blank rune that you sometimes get in the set of runes. You get a blank one that some people can use as an unknown. So with this tarot deck you also get an instruction manual, which as you can see with this one has been printed a little bit off center. The back as well, a little bit off center there. I still have to pay the same price, mind you, but then again. Anyway, it gives you no pictures of the cards, but it does give you some detailed information of the cards themselves. It gives you a sample layout that you can try, and it also gives you the Kabbalah Tree of Life and where the tarot falls on the Tree of Life. There's also quite a few books going around about this particular deck that you can buy. Some very good books as well, I might add. I do have one of them and they are very good. So I'm going to show you the major arcana first of all. We've got the Fool. So notice the tiger instead of the dog. At the bottom you've got a symbol there. I think that's air, I could be wrong. But you've also got a Hebrew letter there as well. My knowledge of some of these symbols is not very good. Some of them I know very well, some of them I don't. So you've got here the wings of Isis, but also like the caduceus that the medical profession uses. You've got the butterfly and you've got dove. And the dove is peace, as you know, but also birds represent air, represent movement. And the butterfly also represents movement and air, but also transformation. You've got the grapes symbolizing wine, and wine, when you drink wine sort of in a Christian mass, for instance, symbolizes the blood of Christ, doesn't it? So it's almost like the life blood. Then we've got the magus. So on this one as well, we've got snakes at the top, as well as the wings of Isis. You've got Mercury symbol there. Mercury, as you may be aware, is the planet of communication. You've got various symbols on there representing the elements. So you've got the priestess, not the high priestess, this is just the priestess. I'm not too sure what the camel represents, mind you. But again, you've got the grapes. You've got the moon at the top. You've got the two pillars at the sides. So you do have some of the normal references. You've got the moon at the bottom. I'm not really sure what these are here. Possibly diamonds or some kind of crystals. Then we've got the Empress. You've got the swan, the Queen's bird. Aleister Crowley was British. You've got the symbol of Venus. You've got, it's almost like a white phoenix there on the sword. You've got the moon on there as well. Then we've got the Emperor with the symbol of Aries. That's there. But you've also got the Aries rams at the top. There's normally, on most Emperor cards, you've normally got a ram somewhere on there, often on the thrones itself. And you've also got a phoenix there as well on the shield. You've also got the lamb. And you might see there that it's almost like the lamb is it a lamb or a dog? Not sure whether it's a lamb or a dog. But it's almost got a halo around, but it's almost cut in half. So if it's two halves coming together, which you can see a few times through this deck actually, the sort of the normal side and the shadow side coming together, it's often depicted in this deck. And you might notice as well on some of the cards, you've got person looking away, so you can't see their face. And it's okay on the Emperor, and the Priestess is okay, but there on the Empress, you can't really see her face. Then we've got the Hierophants. Now if you look closely at these animals, you've got the figures at the top as well. That's the right way, and you might notice some of these don't look very nice, but when you turn it upside down, now not so much that one there, but that one and the two at the top, they do make faces upside down as well. And you've got that occult saying, as above, as below. And there the Hierophant holds what could be a key to knowledge. And the question is, with these figures, is his knowledge good or bad? It could be either, couldn't it? Now, Aleister Crowley was an occultist, and his occult beliefs were very much based on sexual magic, so there are a lot of sexual references in these cards as well, although not blatant nudity or anything like that. But here we've got the lovers. You may see there you've got the Kundalini, which is the snake rising from the root chakra. That's a sexual image. You've got the children there as well, which could be interpreted in many different ways, I think. I prefer to see it as from love comes growth and creating new life I prefer to see it in that manner rather than any other way. And you can see they're being blessed by the divine, no face there. And then we have the Chariot. It's almost like he's holding the Wheel of Fortune in his hands there. Then you've got Adjustment instead of just Justice. But same type of card though, the balancing, you've got the Scales of Justice there with the feather and the heart. You've got the Sword of Justice that she's holding, or that figure's holding, which could also be seen as a Sword of Damocles. And you'll also notice in a lot of these cards there's also very much an Egyptian reference or an Egyptian look to the cards. Now here we have the Hermit, and you've got the Hellhounds there. Now the Hermit is a seeker of knowledge, so that knowledge could be good or bad. You as a reader would determine what kind of knowledge that person's looking for. And here we have the Sperm, symbol of creativity, because the sperm creates new life. But also, as I said before, because Aleister Crowley was into sexual magic, and there you got knowledge, seeker of knowledge with that as well. And again you'll see the Hermit's face is looking away, no face on them. So we've got Fortune. This is a Wheel of Fortune, and it doesn't really need any explanation. You've got the forks of lightning going through there, but at the top you've got stars as well, and your hopes and dreams at the top when things are looking up. Then instead of Strength we've got Lust, again depicting keeping in with his sexual theme of the card. So there we've got almost the Whore of Babylon riding on the back of the beast. So you can take that any way you want. Then we've got the Hangman. At first glance that looks very similar to other cards, doesn't it? But if you look, his actual hands and his foot there is actually nailed. So it's almost like he's been crucified as the Hanged Man. You've got the serpent at the bottom, and that looks like a serpent around his foot as well. And of course you've got the symbol of life upside down there as well. Then we've got Death, and as you can see there's a few animals on there as well, because death doesn't come just for humans, it comes for every living thing on the planet. And instead of temperance you've got art. Now you see the symbol of the two faces there coming together of the person that you want people to see and the shadow side coming together. And this is almost like a card of alchemy. She's putting something into the pot, into the cauldron as you might say, and like an alchemist trying to produce gold. Or as we could say, bringing the two parts of one together to produce the whole being. And then we've got the Devil. I always think it's really bad the way they keep putting goats on the Devil card. I mean, what have goats done to hurt people? Nothing at all, poor things. We've got a symbol of Isis there again, and possibly the scatter beetle in the middle as well. But what I noticed about this card, I don't know whether you could see it, some there, the goat's feet, very strange, almost like claws on its feet. Oh, that's the devil. You've got the tower. You might notice there you've got almost like that, the mouth of hell that's been opened. You've got all these flames coming out there. You've got the tower collapsing and people falling off as normal. You've also got the all-seeing eye at the top as well. Now that's symbolising God and the eye of the divine. We also got the dove there looking for new land. Remember, the dove was the one that came off the ark. Noah sent the dove to look for land, and the dove came back with the twig in its mouth. But there, it's flying away with the twig. It's leaving. Then we've got a star. And she's taking water or knowledge from the divine and putting it into the river of life. In some cards, it's a water bearer standing with 1 foot on land and 1 foot in the river. But again, you can see there, she's looking away. There's no face again on that. Then we've got the moon. And you've got the 2 figures of Anubis. You've also got the scarab beetle holding the sun at the bottom. And we've got the sun. You might notice all the way around the card you've got all the animals as well, the 2 figures jumping up and down with joy. Everything's fine under the sun. And then instead of judgment, we've got the Aeon. And again, you can see the occult symbolism in there. You've got the figure in the middle. And then you've got the Egyptian goddess. Is it Nut, I think, who is the night sky. But you've also got the egg. And the Egyptians believed that the earth was created from the primordial egg. And quite a few ancient peoples think that the earth was created from an egg as well. But here we've got the universe, not the world, the universe. And again, you can see the creatures on the 4 corners. Looking a bit worse for wear, I suppose. Now, these 2 at the top are actually upside down. But as you're looking at them upside down, you can see they again appear to be different faces. So if I turn it around, the ones that were at the top, there you can see their actual faces. And the 2 that are now reversed, again, look like 2 different figures. We just turn it back that way. You've got the serpent. You've got the circle, and it does look as if she's on the symbol of affinity there, which is like the figure 8. And both the circle and the figure of 8, they are both classed as symbols of infinity, because there is no beginning and no end. They just continue. Again, you've got the all-seeing eye at the top there as well. Okay, then going to the first of the minor arcana, we've got the swords. Now on the number 2 to number 10, you've just got the swords themselves, very little detail, but it does give you a word at the bottom to give you a bit of information. That's peace. So 3, we've got sorrow. 4 we've got truce, 5 defeat, 6 science, 7 futility, 8 is interference, 9 cruelty, and 10 ruin. And then we've got the court cards. We've got the prince, the princess, the knight, and the queen. There's no king. Okay, then we come to the wands. There's the 8 of wands. Then we've got 2, which is dominion. 3 is virtue. 4 completion. 5 strife. 6 victory. 7 valor. 8 swiftness. 9 strength. 10 oppression. And then again the prince, the princess, the knight, and the queen. Then the next suit of the minor arcana are the cups. So 2 is love, as we all know. 3 abundance. 4 luxury. 5 disappointment. 6 pleasure. 7 debauch. 8 indolence. 9 happiness. And 10, I probably won't say this right, but satiety. It basically means satisfaction. Right, there you go. And with these, with some of them anyway, you've got the, in fact I think it should be all of them, you've got the symbols of the astrology on here as well. This one's got the symbol of Mars at the top. You can just about see it. So here you've got the prince, princess, the knight, and the queen. And as you can see, the knight has got his head moved away. The queen, there's hardly any information about a person on there at all. You can see the face of the princess, and you can see the face of the prince. And then the next suit is the discs. So that's the 8. Then you've got the 2 change. So you can clearly see on this one you've got Jupiter at the top, and there at the bottom I think that's Saturn. You can just about see it there. But you've also got the yin and the yang symbol. You've got the snake making the symbol of 8, a symbol of affinity. No beginning, no end. So 3 works. And there you've got the pyramid. 4 power, 5 of discs worry, 6 is success, 7 failure, 8 prudence, 9 gain, 10 wealth, and then you've got the princess, the prince, the knight, and the queen. Now with this queen, you've also got the ram there as well. When look again, she's looking away, no face. Quite a lot of the figures in these decks, I mean, he's looking away as well, no face. But then you've got the ones that are looking straight towards, and you can basically see a face on those. Now it's mainly the prince and the princess that are looking towards you, where you can see the face fully, and it's the knight and the queen that are looking away, where you can't see their face. Now, is that because maybe they're older, they have more experience, they've come across more things that they don't want you to know about, possibly? As I say, this is a very occult deck, based very much on sexual occultism. Now with the cards themselves, there's no embossing, so if you wanted to paint these cards you could do. They're very big, they're huge cards. I can't actually get my hands around horizontally, I have to shuffle them vertically like that. I've used them many times. The cards are quite flexible but quite sturdy. They're very glossy as well. I mean, you can see on these cards that there's only been a few colours used really on them. Very earthy colours as well, greens, almost like a greenish blue, very brownish orange. They're not the vibrant colours that I normally go for in a deck, and even in the major arcana. Sorry, most of them are quite muted colours, not vibrant, and still quite earthy. I think there's only really the universe which I felt was a bit more vibrant than the others, because of that blue, that indigo on there, and the turquoise. They're not a bad deck to use, but they can be quite tiring after a while if you're using them frequently during the day. If you're just using them for one or two readings per day, you're okay. There's a lot of occult symbolism. I mean, I could have gone into a lot more information, but I think a lot of people watching these videos would probably be more interested in the basic information and actually seeing the cards to see whether they like them or not. And picking up the rest of the occult information is something that you can do as you get experienced and you go more in depth into the cards themselves. Not everybody wants to know all of the information. You don't really need to know all of it as you're reading. You just go by your intuition more than anything else. So you don't really need to know all the occult symbolism of everything on the cards. But that's the Thoth deck by Aleister Crowley. So that's the back. So again, on the back, you've got a lot of symbolism on there as well. There you go. So it's, you know, it's a good deck to have. It's not one that I'm using at the moment, but I've used it a lot in the past. And I'm actually going more now for the colours rather than the occult stuff on the decks. That really doesn't bother me now so much. And it's more the actual images and the vibrancy of the colours that I want. I want a more positive image to read for people, and I don't really feel that these are that. I mean, even that one's very dull. It's very muted. And even when you look at that, you've got the two fish. Is it a fountain? Possibly a fountain, because they're giving water out. You've got the lotus flower. But even these, I don't feel that they're positive. Other people may disagree with me. Leave your comments in the bottom. Tell me what you think of them. If you use them now, or if you've used them in the past, let me know what you think of them. As I say, I go more now for more positive cards. I want to see the colours, the vibrancy. It makes me feel a lot more positive, and I think it's nice for the person who's having the reading done to actually see something far more positive than such a muted. Although some people like to feel that they're dabbling in the occult when they take a reading with these cards. So you've got that as well. That's also something to think about. But I hope you enjoyed having a look at those. Please click subscribe if you want to see any more of my decks. Let me know what you think of these cards. Leave some comments at the bottom. Click like as well, please, if you did enjoy it. And let me know whether you read these cards or not, or whether it's a deck that you've left and maybe it's one that you've recently bought or are thinking of buying. Okay, so click subscribe. That'll tell you when I put another one out. So let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.